Sit down. What's going on here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Can you not talk to me?
Just for the...
These are 6 actors Quentin Tarantino couldn't stand working with. And for number 6, there's no way you knew that Tarantino once called out one of Hollywood's biggest stars for being absolutely impossible on set.
Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master.
The same George Clooney who starred in From Dusk Till Dawn actually got into it with Quentin back in the day. Now, before you think this is some random beef, let me break it down for you. See, Tarantino wrote From Dusk Till Dawn, and Clooney was the lead. But years later, things got spicy. Clooney went on record saying he didn't really respect Tarantino as a director. He said, "He's a writer, not a director."
It's hard to explain what he does in a room because he just tries everything. He'll try 100 things in a room.
Damn, that's cold. But Tarantino didn't just let that slide. In interviews, Quentin fired back, basically saying Clooney was salty because his career took off after their movie, and maybe George forgot where he came from. He even said Clooney should just shut up about him in the press. The tension was so real that to this day, they've never worked together again. And considering how many actors are dying to be in a Tarantino film, that's saying something. But wait, because number 5 is even wilder. Now this one shocked the entire industry. Bruce Willis starred in one of Tarantino's most iconic films ever, Pulp Fiction. You'd think they'd be best friends forever, right? Wrong. See, everything was cool during Pulp Fiction. Bruce even took a massive pay cut just to work with Quentin. But fast forward to the 2000s, when they were supposed to team up again, and things went sideways. There are reports that Bruce Willis was extremely difficult to work with. He'd show up late, wouldn't remember his lines, and basically didn't give the production the respect it deserved. And if there's one thing Tarantino can't stand, it's actors who don't take the craft seriously. In interviews, Tarantino has been pretty diplomatic, but you can read between the lines. He said things like, "Bruce and I had different approaches to filmmaking at that point in our lives." Translation? They couldn't stand each other. The craziest part? Tarantino said he'd never work with Bruce Willis again. And considering how protective Quentin is of his legacy and his final few films, Bruce ain't getting another shot. Man, imagine fumbling your relationship with Quentin Tarantino. But that's nothing compared to number 4. Okay, so this one's more about what happened after the movie than during it. Vivica A. Fox played Vernita Green in Kill Bill, and at the time, everything seemed fine. But then years later, things got messy. Vivica went on TV and started talking about how Tarantino treated her on set. She said he was extremely demanding and would make actors do take after take after take until it was absolutely perfect. Now, most actors respect that about him, but Vivica made it sound like it was too much.
He wanted to make sure that mentally and physically we could go through it. He tortured the shit out of us. I'm gonna keep that real.
But here's where it gets interesting. When Vivica started dating someone Tarantino knew, apparently Quentin had some opinions about it. There were rumors that he thought Vivica wasn't taking her career seriously enough and was more focused on her personal life. Tarantino's response? He will never cast her in anything again. And considering he wrote Kill Bill Volume 2 with multiple female characters, that speaks volumes. He could have brought her back for flashbacks or other Tarantino universe connections, but nope. The Hollywood streets are saying Vivica tried to reach out for other projects, but Tarantino wasn't interested. That's tough, man. But number 3 is absolutely insane. Now, this one's heavy. Uma Thurman was Tarantino's muse. She starred in Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, and they had this amazing creative partnership. So what the hell happened? In 2018, Uma Thurman came forward with a story that shook Hollywood to its core. She revealed that during the filming of Kill Bill, Tarantino made her do a dangerous driving stunt, even though she told him she wasn't comfortable doing it. And it gets worse. Uma actually crashed the car. She was seriously injured, and the whole incident was caught on camera. For years, she was angry at Quentin for putting her in that position, and she even said she wouldn't talk to him for a long time. Tarantino eventually apologized publicly, saying it was one of his biggest regrets and that he should have never pressured her into doing that stunt. He called it the biggest regret of his life. Now, they've apparently made peace since then. Uma has said she forgives him, and Tarantino has been very open about his mistake. But for years, there was serious bad blood between them. And when your relationship with your creative muse turns toxic, that's when you know things got real. But hold up, because number 2 is the pettiest beef you've ever heard. Okay, so Chevy Chase never worked with Tarantino, but that's exactly the point. See, back in the day, Tarantino was shopping around his scripts and trying to get them made. And apparently, Chevy Chase had the opportunity to be involved with one of his early projects. But according to reports, Chevy completely dismissed Tarantino. He basically told him his scripts were too violent, too weird, and would never work in Hollywood. He said Quentin would never make it as a director. Fast forward a few years, and Tarantino becomes one of the most successful filmmakers of all time. So what does Quentin do? He starts talking about Chevy in interviews, basically saying Chevy was a washed-up comedian who didn't understand real cinema.
Chevy Chase movies don't play that shit. Chevy Chase is the same supercilious asshole at the end of the movie that he is at the beginning. He never changes.
The best part? Tarantino said in an interview, "I don't think Chevy Chase is funny, and I never have." Damn, that's brutal. But when you think about it, Chevy rejected Tarantino when he was nobody, and now Quentin's out here making masterpieces while Chevy's career has been dead for decades. That's what we call karma, baby. But before we get to number 1, let me tell you, what's coming next is absolutely wild. The final actor on this list is someone Tarantino publicly destroyed in the most savage way possible. All right, we've reached the top spot, and this one's controversial. So here's the thing. Tarantino has been very vocal throughout his career about actors he thinks are overrated or who he believes don't deserve the hype they get. But there's one particular incident that stands out. During a press junket, a reporter asked Tarantino about working with big-name actors versus unknowns, and Quentin went off. He basically said there are actors in Hollywood who coast on their looks and their name recognition but can't actually act. He said, "I'd rather work with a waiter who can act than a movie star who just shows up for the paycheck." Now, he didn't name names in that moment, but everyone in the industry knew exactly who he was talking about. There have been multiple reports that Tarantino turned down A-list actors for his films because he thought they couldn't handle his dialogue or his style. The craziest part? Tarantino has said multiple times that he cares more about the performance than the name. He's literally rejected massive stars because he didn't think they were right for the part, even if it meant his movie would make less money. That's the ultimate power move. Most directors would kill to have certain actors in their films, but Tarantino? He'll straight up tell you no if you don't meet his standards. And that's what makes him a legend. He doesn't care about Hollywood politics, he doesn't care about bruising egos, and he definitely doesn't care if actors get mad at him. Quentin Tarantino makes the movies he wants to make with the actors he wants to work with. What do you think? Was Tarantino too harsh on some of these actors? Or is he justified in demanding perfection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because we're diving deep into Hollywood's biggest feuds, controversies, and behind-the-scenes drama.